Good evening, everybody. My name is Dr. Alexandra Wynn, and I'm a health psychologist. I just started my career as a researcher here at the University of Delaware a little over a year ago. That is all just a fancy way of saying I look at all the different factors that affect your health. Today, we're going to give you a little snapshot of what we do and tell you why it's now more important than ever.
And hello, my name is Dr. Yendelela Cuffee, and I'm a population health researcher. I've been doing this work for over 10 years, and I focus on how we can improve health in minoritized populations. But specifically, I focus on the health and well-being of Black adults and work with them to reduce their risk for cardiovascular disease. And what we're going to share with you today is why we love what we do.
And we love what we do because the research we're going to share with you all, it's me, it's Yonda, it's both of us, it's everyone in this room right now. It is our collective past, it is our current, and it's our future.
And while we would like to come on this stage and tell you that our research is considered important and is considered valuable by everyone, that's simply not the case. This kind of research, this kind of work that focuses on minority communities and underserved populations is being devalued and it's being defunded.
And that's exactly what scares me, Yonda. You see, they're currently trying to erase all of the stories that make up our communities and our loved ones. So I specifically look at how and why Black young adults engage in the healthcare system, whether that's their insurance, their trust in the healthcare system, or if they go to their emergency department or the doctor's office. I look at all those things. But you see, some people try to tell them that they themselves are the problem. But that's not the case. It's the system. It is the type of insurance that they have that makes care simply not affordable. It's the communication that goes down at the visit that makes people feel unseen and not heard. And it's sometimes going into an office and looking around and not seeing anybody who looks like you. I know this well because I've lived it. I was that Black young adult who didn't go to the doctor because I simply couldn't afford it. I was that Black young adult who avoided therapy because I thought none of my college counselors would get it. My work tries to solve this. My research is for young adults who feel like no one is listening to them and for communities who simply want to be heard. But we need this research where communities are able to tell their stories and where they're not told that they're the problem. So why am I scared? Because that's exactly the type of thing we're being told not to do.
And as I think about Alex and the fears and the concerns that you've shared, I can relate to that. I understand that fear. As a researcher, I develop studies that use storytelling or narratives as an approach for promoting medication adherence and management of high blood pressure. And what scares me is that I'm not sure how much longer I am going to be able to continue to do this research. To give you an example of what I mean, earlier this year, the storytelling study that we talked about was defunded, which means we lost the funds to pay our participants for their time. I was unable to pay my staff, and we were unable to purchase the materials that we needed to continue the study. And to be honest, I really did not know how we were going to move forward. But I knew that we could not stop what we were doing because the work that we were doing is valuable, and we were not willing to abandon the communities that we have been working with and supporting. And when we defund research like the storytelling study and other studies that drive to improve health equity, we lose those stories, we lose those experiences, and we lose our connection to our communities.
So now you've heard a little bit about our story. And if you leave this talk thinking that our research is without merit or it's not valuable, well, then you weren't listening close enough. You might think that we're complaining or we don't really care about what we do, but we do. We want to protect our communities. We want people to have better access to care, which leads to better healthcare outcomes and people living longer, healthier lives. But we can't protect our communities if the world stops caring about research that is improving health experiences for everybody. And if we stop caring about our most vulnerable people, what does that say about our systems?
Let's take a moment to think about that. What does it say about our systems? To me, when I think about it in the context of healthcare and research, what it says is that our systems are not working if they only serve to support the very wealthy, the very well-educated, and the well-connected. But let's take a moment to think about those people who are not being served by the systems. It could be the people you know, it could be the people you love, and it could be people you're not even aware need additional support. But I think that we can all agree in this room that all communities deserve care that prioritizes them, but is also personalized to the services that they need and their individual health needs.
We started this talk off by saying research is me, it's us, it's everybody. And just as our identity is shaped by people, things, history, experiences, our research is shaped by our lives. Research is personal. It is what we've seen, what we've heard, what we value, and what we love. Everyone in this room can relate to doing something for the people that they love. And that is exactly what we and other researchers are trying to do. Defunding this research, defunding the stories of our lives, is defunding one of the most valuable things we share with others, and that's our health.
Alex and I would not be on this stage if it weren't for the people who came before us, the health equity researchers who fought to raise the importance of this work and to prioritize it. What we hope is that the work and the foundation that they laid before us is not lost in these uncertain times, but that work will continue, and the folks who are currently doing this work and future people who will be doing this type of research, we hope that their research will not be ended before it has the opportunity to start and before we're able to see the actual impact of their work.
And just one more thing.
What is that?
I'd like to share a story with you all. So a few years ago, I was in therapy, and I was telling her about all the things that happened in my past and just the things that were currently going on in my life. And one day she asked me why I wasn't angry. I didn't have a response for her. I was kind of taken aback, to be honest. Anger was not really a feeling I thought I was ever allowed to feel without backlash. But what she said next really stuck with me. She told me if I did not express my feelings, if I kept keeping everything bottled up, that stress, that's what kills Black women. Black women are conditioned to just keep pushing forward and put other people's feelings above our own. And now we're being asked to do that for our work, and that makes me angry.
And it's okay to be angry. And it's okay to be frustrated. I know how you feel, because I'm angry and I'm frustrated. What's frustrating me right now is being told that we cannot do the work that focuses on the communities with the greatest needs. That is what frustrates me. And what makes this so challenging is because this work is deeply personal. This research goes beyond just working with people, but it reflects who I am as a scientist, as a woman, as a Black woman, and a member of society at large. So as we think about this work moving forward and the importance of it, I hope that we can continue to advance this work.
But with that, why do we always have to be the ones to compromise to do it? Why do we always have to be the ones to persevere through the struggle? I just started this work, and I'm already being asked not to study who I am. I'm tired, I'm disillusioned, I'm exhausted, all before my career has really taken shape.
And when I think about compromise, I'm not willing to compromise right now. Part of me says, You lean in, you work harder, you continue to push this work forward because you know it's important and you know that it matters. But then there's a quieter part of me that says, listen to what you've been told. Let this work go. You find another way, you find another path, and you find another population to work on. But that's not a compromise I'm willing to make right now.
A week ago, a student asked me what I was hopeful for about the future. And I'd love to get on this stage and give y'all this super hopeful and motivational speech about the future, but the truth is I don't have it. It all makes me reflect back on graduate school, and I think about how jaded I was about academia and how I never was going to do a postdoc because it felt like everything I stood against. Here I am, though, in a postdoc in 2025, all because I saw myself in you, Yonda. I saw myself in the people standing steadfast in this work despite the odds.
And I can relate to that because I was a postdoc and I was uncertain about the future. And I see myself in you, Alex, and your experiences. But here I am, a professor, doing exactly what I always hoped I would be doing. But still, I'm a little uncertain about what the future looks like. I don't know what the next 10 years of health equity research is going to look like.
So what now? What do we do?
That's a tough question. But for right now, I'm going to keep leaning in. We're going to keep doing the work that promotes and encourages health and wellness in our communities because it matters. But what about for you, Alex? What do you need to keep going?
I want to lean in, but I'm hesitant. I don't want to continue doing this work if it feels like we're doing it all alone. I need support, we need support, and I just don't want to carry on and feel like the load is all on our shoulders, all by ourselves.
And I know that this work can feel lonely. And I know that you can feel isolated and uncertain about what to do. And I don't want you, and I don't want anyone else who's entering that field to ever feel like they're alone in this work. So I hope today that we've been able to convince you of the importance of this work and its value, and that you'll join with us as we foster a community that's focused on advancing health and equity in all of our communities. But in the meantime, I'm very thankful that Alex and I found community in each other.
Thank you.
Thank you.